Yay.
We
Okay.
are now live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the First Day Podcast. Remember, for those of you that watch live, we do Sunday afternoons now. We've switched to Sundays from Tuesdays, and it's a pleasure to have you aboard for our show today. I'm with my co-host, as always, Leanne. Hello. Hello, Leanne.
Hello, Michael. Hi, everybody.
Hey, we got a guest today that we're going to talk to about a lot of stuff, and she has a lot of experience and a wealth of knowledge that she brings to the table each and every day. It's a pleasure to have the one and only Kim Willis. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yay.
Kim, why
Okay.
don't you
Yeah,
Go ahead,
why don't
Leanne.
I? Yeah, she gave. Okay, so I asked for like a bio because it's so funny when you know people for so long and then you're
Mhm.
just like, oh my gosh, how do I introduce them? Like my personal experience with you, which has been amazing, and it has been so long. We've known each other for at least 15 years, I'd say.
Yeah.
Huh.
Maybe longer. I'm not
Probably
sure.
longer. Yeah.
Yeah, probably longer.
Wow.
Well, yeah, actually, yes, it has been longer because I've been with mom for 16 and
Mhm.
I met you when I was with Harris Douglas. So
Yeah.
time flies.
Time flies. Yeah. We're
Yeah.
having fun.
Absolutely. So I do want to read this bio because it was really good. So Kim Willis is the Director of Communications and Mental Health Promotion at the Canadian Mental Health Association, Windsor Essex County branch. She has over 20 years of fundraising and communications experience, primarily in the education and healthcare sectors. In her current role, Kim is responsible for fundraising, communications, and mental health promotion. Working with her team, they launched the Soul Focus Project campaign in 2017 to be proactive in making Windsor Essex a mentally healthier community. I really want to make sure that we get on that. I want to talk about that. She has served on the boards of AFP, CAGP, the AFP Canadian Foundation, Brain Injury Association, and the Teen Healthcare Center or Teen Health Center. In addition, she is a freelance writer and hosts a podcast called KC Keeping It Real. So, Kim,
Yes.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. So, where is there somewhere that you want to start or do you want to?
No, whatever works for you.
Okay, so how about we just kind of start with Canadian Mental Health
Yeah.
Association?
Sure.
What is it that you guys kind of do? How can the community use your services? Let's just kind of go through that first.
Mhm. So CMHA in Windsor is the lead community provider of mental health and addiction services. And as part of that, we have over 20 specialized programs for moderate to severe mental illness. We also are unique in that we have a health center right on site as part of our services. So we're able to provide that primary care linkage for clients or others who may not use the mental health services as well. And then since 2017, we've been very active in the whole area of mental health promotion, education, awareness, which has been so important because even pre-pandemic, we were seeing an upswing in needing to meet needs for those experiencing mental illness and addictions. So the education and awareness is important. It's around early intervention, early identification, and also addressing the stigma. So that's become a really important part of our work in Windsor and Essex as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I do want to get into the Soul project. That's incredible. But now for the services and everything that you guys offer, if somebody just in the community is feeling like they need to approach somebody, do they have to go to their GP first and or can they just come to you, or how does that work?
That's a great question. So we want to make our services as accessible as possible. And really all you have to do is you can go on the website, windsoressex.cmha.ca, and look up how to access services. But you can also call 519-973-4435. And that is like a one-stop stop. So if you're experiencing whatever the case might be, whether it's heightened anxiety, depression, we have bereavement services, you call that number and they are able to direct you to the appropriate service. And if that's not at CMHA, they'll also be able to help you connect with what the service in the community is that aligns best with your needs. So we really want to make it as accessible as possible. we talk about routinely how important it is, if you are struggling, is to reach out and talk to someone. So we've really been working hard over the last several years to make it as easy as possible.
That's amazing. That's so good to hear. Because I think that's when it definitely is a barrier, and it's one of those things that like you don't know where to go and you feel like there's nowhere to turn. So
Yeah. And
go ahead.
and I think navigation of any healthcare system is more complicated than maybe it needs to be, but especially for mental health. And what we've heard from clients, and we continue to hear, and we're trying to work on this, is having to tell your story over and over again.
Yes.
It can be traumatizing, it can be triggering, and that's one of the biggest complaints that we've heard from clients and families. So again, we're really trying to coordinate our services, centralize our services with our partners, so that people don't have to go through that repeatedly, and also help go to the right person at the right time.
Yeah,
that's a huge deal. The constant paperwork. I know informed consent is a part of the deal, and I understand that, but in my own experience as well, it's like, stuff like starting over again. It just makes another barrier for people that want to just give up, or feel like it's an easier way to just say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with this. I don't want to do this anymore.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's a work in progress. I'm not saying we have all the answers, but I think we've made great strides, and we're really all about partnerships and not duplicating services. So if someone else is doing something and they're doing it well, great. Let's make the system stronger and better together.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Okay, so tell us a little bit about about the Soul Focus project.
Yeah,
that has been huge.
It's been amazing. So we did some strat planning with our board of directors, and we had input from the community and other partners, probably around 2016. And they had said, no one's really doing this work around mental health education, promotion, awareness. And you're CMHA, we look to you to do this. So we realigned some services in-house. We didn't hire anyone right off the bat. And then our CEO, Claudia Dembor, and I met, and we said we should probably do like a little marketing campaign to let people know that we're going to do this. So we reached out to our very talented friends at Douglas Marketing Group. And we shared with them what our vision was, and they came with some concepts, and overwhelmingly, we all loved the Soul Focus project. It just seemed to resonate. It was different than other mental health campaigns that we'd seen. We thought people could get excited about it. And from there, it's just like, it's kind of, we call it a Cinderella story, because it just really took hold. We reached out to different people with lived experience in the community, and we said, we're starting this campaign. Would you like to be an ambassador? And essentially that meant like sharing your story, or why mental health is important to you, your business, your family, whatever the case might be. So we launched in 2017, and while most of our programs and services are funded by the government, the whole work around mental health promotion and education is not. So we have to raise money to do this work around early intervention and promotion. So I know it makes no sense.
Blows my mind. Okay.
Yeah. So we thought, okay, I don't know how this is going to go. There's still stigma attached to mental health. We'll set a fundraising campaign. And so we set our goal at $500,000 for over 3 years, which again, it was like pie in the sky. What are we going to set this at? Because we didn't want to make it like so big that it would just seem unachievable. Well, we raised that in 10 months. So yeah, it was just really spoke to the passion and the interest from this community. And we know Windsor Essex is incredibly generous and supportive. So then we stretched our goal to be 1.5 million over 3 years. And as of today, I mean, I'm sure we're at like 2.5 million.
Oh,
And
incredible.
it just continues to grow. And it's presented opportunities beyond our wildest dreams. Like some of the partners that we've been able to align with, like everything, like we've had stuff going on with the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Tigers. We work very closely with the university, the college. Recently, we started a partnership with We Tech Alliance because they found that through the pandemic, the mental health pressure on small business and entrepreneurs has been really significant.
Absolutely.
So through our fundraising and the work we've done over the last 3 years, we were able to last year hire a pandemic response therapist and
Wonderful.
a workplace outreach worker. So those are both some of the pieces we've really highlighted in the partnership with the WeTech, because those are free services available to anyone. But we thought it might be really helpful for those audiences. And yeah, like I said, it's just one thing has led to another. So it's been so gratifying to be part of that whole project.
That's beautiful. And it really speaks to the fact that we're not alone, that everybody, it touches all of us, and usually personally, like not, like cancer, it's like, you know, someone, if it wasn't you, you know, someone, but I feel like mental health is something that it literally touches all of us, you know, just a different, variations, but wow.
Yeah. And I think if anyone had any doubt on that before last year, they've certainly realized it over the last 12 months. I don't know anyone that has not had a bad day. And just speaking to people that you think, oh my gosh, they always have all their crap together and they're so strong, and you see, and they're sharing like, I was not in a good place, or I'm not in a good place. And it's been really, really hard. I mean, we're humans. We're not meant to be isolated and, shut in. So it's really tested our resiliency and our mental wellness for sure.
Yeah. That's amazing. Amazing. So the project then is still going on.
Yeah, it became so important and significant, and kind of such a, people recognize it and associate it with our branch, that it's become bigger than a campaign. It's now the umbrella under which we do all of our mental health outreach and education, as well as our fundraising. So it's here for the long haul. And what we have done, though, is we launched last year, actually just a week probably before the world shut down, was the second phase of the Soul Focus project. And it was called On the Front Lines. And we had no idea, how could we?
That was before the pandemic?
Yeah.
Get out.
We thought, like, we didn't know how important frontline workers would become, even more so.
Yeah.
But we had heard through our work with the Soul Focus campaign, the increasing needs around mental health and wellness in workplaces and businesses, and also a lot of needs around men accessing supports. So with that focus, we launched On the Front Lines to kind of move forward and make some headway in that space. So it's been interesting because, as we know, everything we'd planned for 2020 kind of got a little off track, but certainly we've tried to be there and be as supportive for businesses and individuals over the last 12 months. But yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And the services, so if it's funded by the government, so is it are there any like out of pocket, or like how does that work?
No, it's all, if you access any of our like specialized mental health services or the health center, I mean, as long as you have a health card, pretty much it's covered. There's no out of pocket expenses. And then, and then our work around mental health promotion and education, a lot of it is free of charge. There are some specialized trainings that we do that are more intensive, like some of the workshops and training we do around suicide prevention. And we charge a fee, but it's just really cost recovery. and I say that, but then we've been successful in raising funds. Dan Gemus Realty is a good example of that. We were the beneficiary of his Country at Heart event a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So much fun. And those funds were raised to provide suicide prevention services and education for first responders. So we've been able to be creative, and there's been some great donors that have subsidized offering that program and those trainings to other groups in the community.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely amazing. Okay. Mike, do you have any questions on that? Because I want to also go into, she's got a podcast and I want to talk about that a little bit. Do you have anything else?
No, this is curious. I'm very intrigued by this. I think it's important. I have no problem at all. In fact, I'm grateful that you guys exist and are trying to increase coverage and expand the overall outreach between networks. I think that's very important. I know that doesn't happen in America over here. So
no.
Not enough. Not enough. Like there's such a lack of the repetition and the lack of awareness on mental health in the Detroit area, the Southeast Michigan area, continues to be a problem because there's not enough people to meet the need in terms of professionals available. And that's a big. My brother has been on this show many times. He's a professional counselor, and he runs his own little practice, and he does a really good job, and he's online. And now that telehealth has been made legal here or ethically allowed, it's made it a lot more simpler to get online, but still not enough people know about it. So getting the word out with events like Miles for Meaning, I think are really important. I think it's a huge deal, and there needs to be more of that related to mental health, because I don't care about the stigma, but I'm in the minority. I'm not afraid to talk about it publicly. I'll talk about anything, depression, opioid recovery. I don't care, but I'm weird.
So my understanding, of the U.S. system, and I don't pretend that I know a lot, but is that it is quite fragmented and disjointed, and like you said, not enough people to meet the needs and all of that good stuff. Are they making any improvements in that? Or are they trying?
I'm sure. The problem is there's too much dominance by these megacorps around here, and they cut costs, and then people quit, and they don't have enough counselors. They already didn't have enough counselors to meet the need, and then when they cut costs, counselors say, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go do my own thing, and then they have even less people to meet the need for this role of clients they have. It just there's too many of these overall conglomerates that have control of pretty much. There seriously is. There's I think there's 2 or 3 health systems that run the whole area around here. There's not a lot of options, and finding the individual people online can be done. There's people who do their own thing online, but it's a real mess. And so I can't wait. I told Leanne I'd happily move to Canada and become a Canadian. I would love to be a Canadian citizen and get my health card and be a part of this. It would make me very happy.
Well, I always wanted my green card, so.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, it's always greener, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I love America. It's a great country.
It really is. It really is.
It used to be. I know that. So, seriously, I'm not political either way. It's just a darn shame that I want people to get the help they need, and especially in Michigan. Michigan has a lot of corruption. It always has, and it's made it difficult for people, and it only disenfranchises more people. People become jaded, and they don't believe in the systems. So that's the big problem right now. That is the main problem, and I'm sure in Canada that stuff happens too. Yeah. And in the end, look, I love what you're doing, and Leanne she's like, we gotta sign up for Miles for Meaning right away.
Yeah.
And I got all over that, and I have to do a better job of getting out, taking advantage of this wonderful weather we've been having recently.
Yeah. So Miles for Meaning, that's interesting. Just to give Yeah. So we have been one of the only charity partners involved with the Detroit Marathon at CMHA for a number of years, which is awesome. And
we signed up. We're doing the marathon in October. Is it October? Anyway, and it said, do you want to connect with the charity? And so I went down and I was like, CMHA is there. That's amazing. So we're connected. Yeah.
Awesome. So, sadly, it couldn't happen this past year, but fingers crossed for 2021.
Mhm.
So the organizers of that brought our attention to Miles for Meaning, which is happening throughout the month of March.
Mhm.
It's so easy to sign up. There's no charge. And you just download the Kilter app and look for the CMHA team. It's the CMHA Windsor Essex team number 3, because each team has 100 people. So we've reached over 200, which is really exciting.
That's amazing.
And I mean, you can fundraise if you'd like, but then essentially you link whatever device you have, whether it's an Apple Watch or whatever that might be. You start and stop either a walk or a run, and it'll track your points. And the charity that has the most points at the end of the month will win $25,000. So you get to get outside or be active, which is great for your mental health and your physical health. And it's a win-win because we could win some money too. So it's fun. Yeah.
And you guys are doing pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, my colleague keeps me up to date almost daily. I think, I mean, it fluctuates, but we go between like 3rd and 5th, but it's only March 14th. So we have time. But thank you for participating. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's all Leanne. Leanne, you get full credit for that, no doubt. I'm taking no responsibility for that. I want people to know we're talking with Kim Willis real quick. As a reminder, she's the Director of Communications and Mental Health Promotion at Canadian Mental Health Association, Windsor, Essex County branch. And we are talking live. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them on the comment section here. We had the quick comment earlier. Yeah. This was from Philadelphia, by the way. He says there are a great need for mental health counselors for children. So this is an international problem for people who are always needing more care and being honest and direct about mental health.
Yeah, and kudos to you for being live doing this. This is good on your part.
We try.
Yeah.
And I think once we get a set time, because we've been kind of playing around with it. We used to do Tuesday nights, and it was turning out really good because people knew to come at 8:00 and stuff. Yep. Now we're switching it to the weekend, and we're kind of playing around with the times. We did it in the morning. We've done it later. Now we're doing it 3:00. So we'll figure out kind of what the best time is, and then I think we'll pick one and stick to it so people know to come. Yeah. But yeah, no, that's incredible. And the Miles for Meaning. That gentleman, I think it was a guy, I'm not sure. I came up too quick. Even if you're in Philadelphia, you can still sign up for their team for CMHA and the Windsor branch. Yeah, I've got friends that are, I've been telling them in California and in Arizona, and because they're out walking anyway, they're hiking anyway. So, and if you're not doing anything, like, use your Miles for Meaning, truly. Like, it's so incredible. So it doesn't matter where you are, just hook it up. And like Kim said, it's free. So we're going to keep promoting that all month and
thank you.
Because you don't have to start at the beginning, right? You can join.
You can join anytime. Yeah. You can join now. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, I had high hopes for it, and then I screwed up my foot, and I haven't done anything in a week. And I just got a notification for Miles for Meaning. They're like, "You have done 0 in 7 days." And I was like, oh, "Thanks, man."
Well, you hurt your foot. What can you do?
So I was gonna strap this onto my dog, but I'm not going to.
That worked.
Yeah. So okay. So that's there was also another thing that you were talking about, the 50th anniversary fundraising campaign, Move the Dial. What's that all about?
So it's the 2021 is the 50th anniversary of CMHA in Windsor and Essex County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's very exciting that we've been around that long.
Yeah.
So we have set up this Move the Dial fundraising campaign to support the 50th. So we're trying. Our goal is $1 million. So fingers crossed. And that allows us to continue to do the work that I've talked about and keep around like those positions. Like I said, our workplace outreach worker, our pandemic response therapist, and also plan for the future because in speaking with experts and reading just the newspaper, there really is a parallel pandemic going on in conjunction with COVID, and that's around the mental health situation that we're seeing and we've talked about here. And we think as people come into recovery, there's going to be a lot of issues. I think around grief, that our lives are not going to just snap and go back to what they were March 1st, right? It's going to be different. And people have lost a lot of, people, family members, friends, whatever the case might be. And even if it wasn't through COVID, I mean, losing someone through any disease or whatever the case might be over this past year has been horrendous, because you can't have a proper funeral. You don't have that closure. And then just, I think, trauma and PTSD around what people have experienced. And I mean, we're all shut up in our homes. And with, you hear the stories, horrific stories. Home isn't always a safe place for people. And you think about kids that are not in the best situations, or even families with domestic situations that aren't healthy. So I think there's going to be a lot of need moving forward for the next little bit. So again, we've set the bar high. We know it's a big goal, but we say the needs are high. And as part of that, we're also doing some 50-50 lotteries. So this is a lot of fun. You just go to CMHA Windsor, Essex. Let me just make sure I'm telling you the right one. CMHA Windsor, 5050.ca.
Okay, perfect.
And you can.
Do you have that up on your screen that you can copy and paste?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to copy and paste it and put it in on the side there where it says not the private chat, but the comments.
Yeah.
Right? I think you can do that.
Comments, yeah. It doesn't let me put it in there.
Here. Yeah, I think I got it here. You guys want to take a look at this?
Okay.
This is live. We have video here for those that are watching live.
Oh, great. Look
there you go. There it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
So for $10, $20, or $40, you buy your tickets, and what you see there is what you can win. So that's right now, if the draw was today, someone would win $3,160.
Oh, wow.
Last time our winner took home $23,000.
Come on.
This can grow a lot. There's a hospital in Windsor. I mean, a lot of people are doing these right now just because we can't do events, and a lot of other fundraising things that we would have done pre-pandemic. So this is a great way that people or other charities, along with CMHA, are raising money. And I know one hospital, every time they do it, the winner is taking home like $100,000. So it can grow. It's unbelievable. So
and they take credit cards, and
the
more tickets you buy in bulk at $40, you get more for your buck there.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. So that's great. Something fun, and it's a win-win, because we win, obviously, CMHA, but also, who doesn't want to win like a good chunk of change right now? So. Yes,
especially right now. And I feel like this is going to be one of those things that because the one thing when you go to events and you do the 50-50, then you feel that, not obligation, but you want to give it back to the charity. Like that's just what you do. Yeah. But I feel like coming out of the pandemic and everybody dealing with the job loss and everything that they've been doing, I don't think anybody's going to look at it like, if they keep the money or they keep a big portion of the money, that it's like, why didn't you give it back to the charity? I think that's going to help,
Yes.
a lot. So if you guys are looking to do that, because I know we have that conversation all the time, like for our charity, is like, we don't want to make people feel like they can't do it because they have to give the money back. And then, it's that weird thing.
Yeah.
But this, that's incredible.
Yeah.
When did this start? At the beginning of the year?
We did our first one. It launched in December, and the winner was chosen early January. And this one started last Monday, so March the 8th, and the winner will be selected April the 8th. And then we have 3 more planned throughout 2021. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. I'm glad I asked about that. Yeah. We'll promote it too on our upcoming.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, that's awesome. So now the podcast. This is
Mm.
something that did you start it with your daughter? Why do I feel like you started with your daughter?
Yeah. So,
But no longer. So I just wanted to hear about the
this
story.
is a funny story. So it was like 3 years ago, and she's 17 now. So and she was like 14, and she, like most teenagers at that age, was spending all her time on her devices.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hey, we should like do a YouTube podcast show thing. We'll just, have fun, and it'll, something we could do together. And she hated every minute of it. So, so if I'm having a bad day, I go back and I will watch that first one, because she was very good. Like, she created a blooper reel and everything. It was so funny. So that lasted 3 episodes.
Okay.
And then I did a few more. And then it just, life, happens, and it kind of got put on the back burner. And then last November, December, an opportunity presented itself. And I just like having the opportunity to talk with whomever about something that's going on, like in the world or in entertainment or politics, that I'm like, hey, I want to talk to so-and-so or about whatever. So yeah, I launched it again last January. So Casey, keeping it real. So yeah, and I try to do one every week. But like we said, it's a lot of work. So kudos to you guys. You have a much more sophisticated system than what I have. But it's like, don't you just feel like it's
we really struggle with the promotion end of it. So we love getting the guests and getting everybody on and doing the thing, and Mike edits it, Mike puts it out, Mike does all of the like technical part of it. But the promotion part of it is where we really struggle, where it's like, oh gosh, we need to do a better job. But it almost like, parts of me is like, maybe we just stop until we have the time to promote it. But there's if it just touches one person, which it always does, we always end up getting at least one person that says, oh, I was listening to that episode and it really, hit. So we need to keep it up. We just need to get better at that. But you're right. There's so many hats to wear. It's not just an hour show.
No. And we all have like full-time other jobs and families and lives.
Most of us do.
Yeah. And excuse me. And it's just, just keeping up that bombarding of like on all these different platforms and just talking it up. And it's never ending. And you always feel, I always know I'm not even touching the surface. Like, and I'm like you, sometimes I think, oh, I should just, pause until I really get a system going where I can promote it. But that's never going to happen. No. So I just try to do a little bit as best I can. And
and you've got some great guests on too.
Yeah. Like, don't you find that is like what blows my mind about one of the pod aspects of podcasting is that, you put out a request and you think they'll never hear from so-and-so. And they're like, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, that is just like, that blows my mind. And then some people that you think, okay, yeah, sure, they'll talk to me. They're local or whatever. And they like politely decline, or you just never hear back. And it's such a crapshoot.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're so grateful that you came on, because this is such a big deal. Because I think too, with the mental health, what's nice about your services and why I wanted to get it out there, that you didn't have to go to your GP, is a lot of people have that. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want it to be like recorded with my doctor. I don't want to admit that I have an issue with my doctor, whatever. Or they have a relationship with the doctor that the doctor just pushes. Like, we had one doctor, the one that I have right now, knock on wood, she's fantastic. But we had one that he would just come in and it was like a menu. Like, he would just come in and say, so what do you need? And it was only like, I just want to fill your prescriptions and that's it.
Yeah.
And you might not necessarily want that. You want somebody that you can go to talk to. So I love that you can just call one number and they'll direct you. Like, you guys will direct them to where they need to go. Because I feel like I wouldn't even know where to begin.
Yeah.
You
And the
know?
other great thing that we have in Windsor, Essex, is in partnership with Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare, there's the Mental Health and Crisis Wellness Center, which is located downtown on Oulette,
Oh.
right by, if you're familiar with Windsor, there's a bar right beside it, Bull and Barrel.
Oh, okay.
So just south of that. And you can walk in there again, like, so you don't even have to call. You can walk in and same thing. They'll help direct you to the appropriate program and service. And they also, one of the things that we were able to start last April, we'd wanted to do it for a while, but the pandemic just made everything speed up. And I mean, those are some of the good outcomes of this, is that we have a mental health and crisis urgent care center now in Windsor, housed as well at that site I just mentioned. And again, if I mean, if you're suicidal or at risk of self-harm, absolutely go to the Emerge.
Mhm.
But the other thing that we hear repeatedly is that if you're having like a mental health crisis or episode, one of the worst places you want to be is in the emergency room at the best of times, let alone
Right.
when there's like a pandemic. It's just not equipped or set up to deal with individuals in those situations. So again, you can go to this site and have the urgent care clinic, and it's a multidisciplinary team. So you have access to like a nurse, a doctor, a psychiatrist, social worker, all the programs and professionals. So again, we're really that's new. Like I said, it just started last April, and it was going to stay around post-pandemic too. So at least that's one good thing. But again, it's good that we have these services where you, like you said, Leanne, you don't need an appointment. You don't have to go to your primary care doctor. You can just do that and access services that way.
That's amazing. Yeah, because we were just joking around about it. I do a mastermind in the morning, and we were just talking about how one of the gals that are in our group, she like hurt her shoulder, so she has to go see a specialist. One of the guys in our group is American, and so he's like, well, you guys won't have to pay for it. And we're like, we pay for it in time. So her appointment to go and get the consult, not to do anything with it, the consult is July, the end of July. So he's like, what? You should be able to just go in. And I was like, no. So that's where my head goes too with all these kinds of things. By the time you get in somewhere, you're not, so this is awesome.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right too. I mean, when we've traveled and you talk to Americans and they're like, oh, you have free healthcare. I'm like, well, yes and no, right? Like you said, we pay for it in time, and we also pay for it in taxes too.
Right,
so,
exactly. Absolutely.
I mean, they say that, but
Absolutely.
again, it's so frustrating for when you need knee replacement or, like you said, all these other medical services, and you're waiting months and months. It's not right.
No, it's not. And with mental services, that's time is literally of the essence. No, that's amazing. Okay, so that is incredible. Now, when it comes to, because there's a lot of kids that are going through mental struggles right now, and they might not even realize that they're going through this, but the parents can see shifts in what's happening with them. What would you suggest for the parents to reach out to you? Is there a way that they could be reaching out?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question, and we know that the system for children and youth is a lot. Like it's a big deal. The Regional Children's Center, that's part of Hotel Dieu Grace Healthcare in Windsor, has great programs for children and youth, and they've done a really good job at mitigating their wait time. So last I heard that there wasn't a significant gap there.
Great.
But yeah, your point to parents, there are, again, some programs. I mean, that's definitely an area where more needs to happen. Is if you contact those services that I mentioned, they can direct you to some the programs that exist for parents. But again, I mean, I feel for the parents that have children dealing with, mental health issues or addictions. One of the things we are moving towards establishing in this region is a youth wellness hub. And so this will be awesome once it takes shape, and we're just in the infancy, but it will happen.
Awesome.
And this will be like a one-stop shop for parents and youth and children that, again, they don't have to go from provider to provider. They can just walk in here in through those doors. And I think the model we're looking at is it probably won't be just one site. We want to make sure there's those services in Essex County as well. So it might be a rotational piece. And again, we're really in the beginning stages. But the idea is, to help with that navigation and accessibility piece. And youth will be part of driving what that model looks like. So we've been to other sites where they have these centers, and walking by, you would be like, wow, that looks like a really cool place to hang out for the afternoon. Like, it's so not institutional looking. It's very welcoming, just like someplace you want to hang with your friends. And
that's cool.
Yeah. So I'm so excited to be moving forward on this. Again, we had started this work last January and had some focus groups, and we're making a little bit of headway, and then the pandemic, but we've kind of come together again, and we're making some steps forward, and we have a little bit of funding that we're going to be getting. And so, I'm really hopeful and can't wait to see that happen.
That's incredible.
Oh
Fabulous.
There's lots of great things happening. Yeah.
And I'm just out of touch with what's happening in the city and everywhere, really. But in the city, I didn't realize, like, I just know of, like, basically you guys. And then I don't really think, I guess I didn't really understand how you were connected to everything else. And I love the fact that it's all connected. And when you said, if it's already happening and it's happening well, let them do it. Because I think that's one of the big pieces too, is that it's like, no, I want everything underneath my own umbrella. And then it's like, you don't know who to trust or where to go. So this is amazing.
It just seems like such a no-brainer that people have operated in silos, or and just it's not reasonable anymore to do that there's only so much money to go around. There's it's just better for the system to work together, and what your partner is doing and what services they are providing. And I think over communication can't be stressed enough, because it's shocking that you get on a call and different providers don't know what others are offering or providing. And I know that's hard to keep up with, but with these centralized models and working together, I think that is one of the areas that will improve moving forward for sure.
Absolutely. That's so incredible. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm so excited. Like, now, see, this is where I go. Like, when we were talking about, like, promotions, the worst part, and it's so hard.
Yes.
I have all of these things. I'm like, okay, well, then I'm gonna, like, I got to do a post about this, and I got to do, like, a live about this, and I go, and then it's just a matter of finding the time and putting it all together. I think what I need to start doing is just going on and just sharing the information that you guys are already doing, instead of trying to make it, like, part of it, and just sharing it, because you guys are doing amazing, amazing things. I am so grateful for you and for the whole team. And what I like too is when I contacted, it's Anita, right?
Yeah.
I contacted her and I was like, I want you guys on. Let me know who you would want to have on, like, whoever you want to speak on.
Right.
And then when they told me it was you, I was like, oh, then this is going to be a lot of fun then.
I know. That's awesome.
That's
so how
cool.
do you two know each other?
So, we're together.
Okay.
So we met 10 years ago.
Wow.
We met 10 years ago
Almost.
Online. So, yes, so it works.
Good for you.
Eventually online dating works.
Okay. So you met 10 years ago.
We met 10 years ago. We dated 10 years ago.
Oh.
Then we on again, off again, a lot of off again, friendship, all kinds of, like, fun, weird stuff. And then, now it's
Not last.
No, not last.
2
because last
Septembers
was
ago.
pandemic. Yeah.
Okay.
So 2019 September, we decided to give it another shot, and it was
that's
funny because
good.
Mike approached it as just being a podcast, like not even like let's date again, let's just do a podcast. And so we ended up dating, and then we ended up doing the podcast. So it worked in reverse. But now we've been together. We've been together for all that time, and we've been apart for
Much longer
over a year.
I was just going to say that this is like my inquisitive mind working, like, because I know people that have families or partners or whatever, and you can't see them even though it's like 10 minutes away.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So you haven't seen each other in person since when?
March 1st
of 2020.
Of 2020.
Yeah.
Right, because now we're
my
past it now
God.
again. So it's over a year. So yeah, but we get to do this show every week.
So someone told me, and again, I don't know if it's true, but
yeah, tell me
that if you own a business that and you can show the papers that you own a business and that you're crossing the border for like an order or supplies or something, that they let you go over.
Not according to and I don't know, because I guess I haven't checked it in the last couple of months, but the last time that I checked with mine, we're not allowed to go over there.
Wow.
So even with ours, we can ship the product over there.
Yeah.
But right now we're working with a client in Birmingham right now, and it's all through Zoom. We're not allowed to cross the border because it's not essential. We're not classified underneath what's essential to cross. So our truck to send the product over. So I guess I could hide in the truck. But the truck with the product can go over, but we're not able to go over there yet.
Oh, that is so crappy. So would you ever consider, like I know people that have done the fly from Toronto to Detroit. Would you do that?
Yeah, so that's a bone of contention a little bit because, yes, I should be doing it, but then I'm worried about. So Toronto's fine because nobody's in the airport.
Yeah.
Michigan, the airport, I had a girlfriend that went over there, and she said that it was like busier than like March break. It's whenever she goes. Well, it's when she went, so I don't know. This was like a little while back. And I'm just worried about when I come home because I still live with my family.
Yeah.
I'm worried about then I'd have to quarantine. So I'd have to end up quarantining however much time I'm going to spend with Mike over there. And then when I come here, I would have to quarantine and be away. So it'd be a lot of time away from work, which is still worth it. But I'm just, my mom's really cautious and my sister because of Crohn's and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. But the longer that we go, the more I'm just like, maybe I just need to do it and just like hope for the best and hope that it's, safe to go. Because we have friends, and Mike's brother has traveled, his mother's traveled, and everybody's okay on the plane. So I think I maybe just have to get over being a baby about it.
Well, no, I mean, it's legitimate. It's just so crappy. It's like, how long would it normally take you to drive to see him?
Well, it's funny. It used to take an hour, and then he moved, so we would just be 35 minutes away. And now we're like, we might as well be 13 hours away.
Oh,
yeah.
That is so crappy. I mean, it's just wrong. But hopefully soon.
I feel like it's going to be the summer, but then everybody's telling me don't get your hopes up. And
I know.
So I don't know.
And it changes
every day. Living
day.
with these types of things, this is why people need mental health coverage.
Exactly.
They need support because things worse than our situation
for sure
are they're really preventing people from being able to live the life they want to live, and they just need help. We all need help. That's why what you're doing is very valuable. And Kim Willis, we want to give her a great debt of gratitude.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, thank you. You're
making
this
a
was
difference.
A lot of fun. This was a lot of fun.
So great, Kim.
And I love what you're doing as well. So keep at it.
What's the final takeaway? So this is the end of the show. So as people leave, what do you want them to take with them?
I want people to, if you're struggling, to reach out and access help and talk to someone. And, if you don't feel that you can take care of it on your own, that there are services and individuals that are here to help you. And also, I mean, I think that we do things for our physical health on a daily basis. you should do things for your mental health on a daily basis too. So whether that's stopping for a minute and doing deep breathing, like that might be all you need to do, or writing stuff down, or talking to a friend or your mom or your dog or whatever, just taking that time every day to do something, because you should do that at the best of times, and right now it's challenging for everyone, so it's more important than ever.
Absolutely. Great advice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's a beautiful place to wrap up the show. Don't forget, this is the First Day Pod at protonmail.com. If you have any questions about what you heard today with Kim Willis, we'll happily accept your emails and respond. We'll even forward them to Kim if they're directly for Kim.
For
Kim,
sure.
do you best way to contact you if people want to contact you? Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely. It's K Willis at cmha-wecb as in boy .on.ca. Yes, I know it could not be any longer, but
Yeah.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to hear from you and respond.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. This was amazing.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Enjoy your Sunday. Thank you for coming on a Sunday with us. We loved it.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.